So, what is the difference between mindfulness and the definition of mindfulness and the attitude we take into coaching as coaches? We define mindfulness as intentionally attending to the present moment without judgment. So, for those of us that are coaches, that can sound a whole lot like, it does sound a whole lot like the attitude with which we go into coaching, which is to be present, intentionally present and accepting of ourselves, of our client, and whatever they contribute to the coaching space, to the field. And there's a couple of important differences or things that should be brought to light when we think about mindfulness and we think about how we approach coaching. One is the intention of mindfulness is to be choiceless, to be agendaless, to simply be with what is without an agenda. And of course, as coaches, we go into the coaching relationship and there is an agenda, and the client's agenda around whatever it is they're hiring and they're engaging us to help them with, to support them through. We are there to do more than be, and so that's a way in which coaching is different than mindfulness, is that we have an intention going into the coaching to serve our client's agenda. And because we go into coaching with an intention, it means that we're bringing something into it that is more than just being present with what is. So let me tease that out a little bit. One of the things that I've learned from working one-on-one and in groups with coaches is that we bring into the coaching our own non-conscious patterns, our habituated patterns of thinking, feeling, and wanting that have been kind of ingrained in us over the course of our lifetimes. And we are largely unaware of that patterning. And so we go into coaching and we may fully believe that we are completely present. And my experience is that I've yet to find a coach that is completely present, because when I see them coaching, when I experience them coaching, I can see very clearly how their patterns from the past show up in the present in their coaching. And you might be asking, how do I know this? How do I see this? Well, we at Learning in Action have an instrument that reveals people's habituated patterns. It reveals their patterned internal experience, their thinking, feeling, and wanting. And once I see that, have that coach's pattern, and then I witness them coaching, either from recorded video or live, I can see very, very clearly how their habituated patterns play out in their coaching choices, how it plays out in what they unknowingly and unintentionally step over in terms of what the client says, emotional experience they put into the field that's maybe nonverbal. And I see it in terms of what they choose to emphasize and focus on and move toward in the client. The coach's patterns are clarified and revealed in the nature of the questions they ask. That's a way that coaching is, that coaches show up for coaching, maybe believing they're mindful and present, and yet their patterns play out. So in that way, the aim of us as coaches and the aim of us as maybe mindfulness meditators is the same, which is we're going to become the best version of ourselves as human and the best version of ourselves, I believe, as coaches, when we have become aware of our patterns, our largely non-conscious habituated patterns. And once we become aware of them and work through them and process through them, then the digestive enzyme of awareness can begin to dissolve some of those patterns for us. Then they don't show up in our coaching. And that process takes time and an understanding of our patterns, a clear understanding of our patterns, and then a looking for our patterns in our coaching behaviors. So that's a lot of what we do at Learning in Action, is we help coaches see their patterns and how that can be showing up in their coaching in ways that are unintended. So anyway, thank you